Okay. So welcome to our District by October group. So what I thought we'd do first is just quickly just go around everybody, just very quickly introduce ourselves, share anything about yourself. So for me, I would be sharing, hi everybody, I'm Danny. I've had my Arbonne business for 3 years. Previous to Arbonne, I actually used to work for Specsavers Opticians. Whose dog's barking?
Sorry, it's mine. I'm going to mute myself for a minute.
Oh no, that's all right. I was just wondering, where's the dog coming from?
He's barking. Sorry, the neighbours' kids, grandkids are in the garden, so he's going mad. But I'm going to mute myself until.
Okay. So I've got 2 daughters. Farah is 6 and Ivana is 5, married to Ian. And I absolutely love Arbonne. It's my main source of income. It's my main job now. Absolutely delighted. So that's the kind of thing I'd say about myself. So I'll go over to Michael. So Michael, did you want to just say a little bit about yourself so that we all kind of know each other a bit more?
Yeah, my name's Michael Wilford, Arbonne consultant for about 10 hours now, as of this morning. My wife, Gemma Wilford, is my sponsor. We've got 2 little girls, Lola and Eliza, and the view is this to become our main source of income pretty quickly, actually, we would like to think. But yeah, we're looking forward.
Amazing what you wrote this morning on the team page about going in for your job interview and then walking back out again because you realised it was not for you.
It just didn't feel right at all, and it just I had a bit of a light bulb moment sort of at the 11th hour, and it just felt exactly. I'm a firm believer in fate, and there were lots of things over the weekend in the lead up to it with computer going wrong and not being able to access some of the documents they wanted, and just lots of things kept falling into place, and it just seemed bang on the right thing to do at that time, and really pleased I did.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Michael. Okay, so next on my screen, this isn't in any order other than what's on my screen. I've got Joe Darcy. Did you want to say a couple of things, Joe? Are you there, Joe? Okay, we'll come back to Joe. Okay, so next on mine is Dee. Did you want to unmute and say a little bit about yourself, Dee?
Hi, I'm Denise, but everyone calls me Dee. I'm a administrator stroke receptionist at a children's centre, at my local children's centre. I've been working there 6 years. I'm also an independent consultant, and I've been doing this for a year now, just over a year. It would have been a year in March. And I'm a recently new DM as well. So yeah, that's me really. Oh, and I'd like to give up my job so that I can have more time and earn loads of money.
Fabulous, thank you, Dee. Okay, Esmeralda.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda. Been an independent consultant now for just over a month. And but I also run my own baby signing franchise, so alongside. So my hope is to actually one day stop the baby signing franchise and just do Arbonne. And I've got 3 boys, almost 9, almost 6, and a 2-year-old. And yeah, just absolutely loving Arbonne so far. It really is that feeling like it fits. And you get so excited, like even all the messages on your phone that you get and the WhatsApp and all that it's like you want to know, and just the development and the support. I've never experienced that anywhere I've worked. So I am just so excited. And I signed my first independent consultant today, so I was like, yay! So yeah, just really ready for the journey.
Yeah. Wonderful, thank you for that, Esmeralda. Okay, so next is Laura. Can you speak, Laura?
Yeah, I can speak. You're right. Yeah, so I'm Laura and I'm a beautician. So I work in a very stressful spa. I also run a business from home that I'm building up, because what I want to do is want to be able to help people with illness. So ladies who have gone through chemo, ladies who have lost their hair through any type of illness, alopecia, and I will always do that because that's my passion. But I want Arbonne to be my tool to get me to where I want to be and to get me out of this spa very, very quickly.
Fabulous.
And that's it.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, Stacey, if you missed it, just a little bit about yourself.
I'm Stacey Blackley and I'm an area manager with Arbonne. I've been with the company for 18 months and to be honest with you, I haven't looked back since I've started. Yes, it has been a roller coaster, but it's been the best roller coaster I've ever been on. Completely not life changing. Monetary value, yes, it's added some value there. I wouldn't say massively like thousands of pounds, but that is what it's given me is what money can't buy. It's my self-esteem. So I sort of saying I was born in London, but I was made in Arbonne. That's all I can say, because I just feel amazing. Arbonne's made me who I am, and without that, yeah, that's it. And I just want to change the world.
Very lucky to have you on the call tonight, Stacey. Impact and your knowledge. Okay, so next we've got Angela. You were muted, Angela. You did it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm Angela Garrity. I've been with Arbonne for about 2 years, actually over 2 years. But I've been in and out. I work as a specialist midwife, which I do love, but it's stressful, and I so want to have more time to do what I want to do. So that's why I'm back trying to route my way to DM.
Wonderful, thank you. And then next got Claudia and little gorgeous Freya. Can you talk, Claudia, or not? Don't worry if you can't.
Hello, yeah, it's fine. I can talk. Freya. Oh, she's gone shy.
Hi, Freya.
Freya, look. You can say hi.
Hello.
Are you talking? She slept after school, so she's not tired yet. My name is Claudia Redlick Smith. I'm a district manager, new district manager with Arbonne. I've been doing the business for 4 years now. The first couple of years I was dipping very much in and out, but the last year, thanks to loads of personal development, I think it's really pushed me forward, and I'm ready to grow an area. I want lots of tips tonight to help my team get to district.
Fabulous. So Claudia, we're very lucky as well to have Claudia on, who's going to impact her knowledge for us all as well. Okay, so Claire, do you know how to unmute, Claire? Yeah, you did it.
Yeah. Hi, so yeah, I'm Claire. I've been with the company for like a month. I'm in district manager qualification and I'm just wanting to push on. So any tips are welcome. 2 young kids, if I have to dash off, George has been a bit of a monkey, but that'll be why.
Totally understandable. And then we've got Becky. I don't know if you're able to speak or not, or if you're just listening, Becky. I'll give you a quick second if you can.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi, so I'm Becky. I am currently a disability assessor for Capita, working 5 days a week, currently still writing reports now. I've been an independent consultant with Arbonne for about a month, nearly a month now, and not really getting anywhere with it, but it's still really hopeful, it's still really positive. Got a couple of events coming up in the next couple of weeks, which is really good. Doing it mainly to sort of boost my confidence, as well as be able to spend more time with my beautiful, wonderful 4-year-old daughter, who I love immensely and who you can see a little picture of. So yeah, that's me.
Fabulous. So I'll just say a couple of things before we hand over to Fiona, because on this call, it's really great actually, because I am a real numbers person, like breaking it down, and I can really explain the business model for you all to learn from. And then you've got Fiona, who's the best person in Arbonne about the products, building a PC base. So you've really got a really great foundation here. You've got my knowledge on how to build a consultant base and build your network. And then you've got Fiona's knowledge on how to build your customer and your client base. So you've got 2 people that have obviously worked really hard on their specific areas. And then we've also got Stacey on the call, who's a brand new area manager, and then Claudia as well. So a couple of things I want to say before I pass on to Fiona is, when you're building your Arbonne business, and I always say this to my new consultants, and if you're sponsored by me, you'll have heard this before. There is a place for everybody in Arbonne. There is a place for every single person, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're 18, whether you're 80, whether you've got children, whether you haven't got children, whether you work 80 hours a week, whether you're stay at home. There is a place for everybody. And the great thing about Arbonne is it doesn't discriminate against anybody. So there is information for every type of person. And that is fantastic. The downside to that is you're going to see a lot of information. So for every 100 pieces of information, you only really need, personally, 10 of those pieces. So what you have to do is filter through and look at things that maybe come up on the WhatsApp, maybe come up on the team pages, maybe come up on the source, and filter through and think, okay, well, that's not relevant for me, that's not relevant for me, but that's really interesting, I'll look at that, and try not to get too overwhelmed by the fact that there is literally information out there for everybody. And you'll have to do this at every stage. Like even myself and Fiona, we have to skip past some things because you do not have time to look at absolutely everything. It's like when you go onto YouTube to look at things personally, you can't look at everything on YouTube. You just have to pick and choose what benefits you the most. And it's the same as Arbonne. And my top priority is making sure that I'm having fun building my Arbonne business. Because if I'm having fun building my Arbonne business, my energy is high, people are attracted to what it is that I'm doing, and that works really well for me. And everything else filters underneath me having fun, which is my top priority. So I've got some great top tips for you. So before I begin, I'm going to hand you over to Fiona, who will probably just say a few little things and give you some nice encouraging words.
Hey, thank you, Danny. Amazing. Always amazing. Yeah, so this call is about setting yourself a business plan for you and your team, help them to move forward. And obviously with your team moving forward, you're sort of building up the QV for all of this, or everybody moving together. That's the goal here, okay? So whether you're a team of 1, 2 or 3, it really doesn't matter. You'll find at every single level promotion in Arbonne, you're going to do the same thing. It just gets on a bigger scale, so the QV will get better. Your team will get bigger. Sorry, QV bigger, team bigger. Your ability to do the business will also have grown into that level. So things right now that seem really scary. Forget that, okay? Because you'll be ready to deal with that when you're ready, when you're fully equipped. And I want, like Danny said, keep the main thing. So you've got to really limit these distractions, okay? And you've got to be focused, as like I was saying on the stage yesterday. So what you need to do is you have to have your no matter what before you go into which is income producing activity, okay? Before you go and do other things that isn't going to, because if you're driven here on the call to get to October, DM by October, then what you need to do is you need to know that every single day you need to work your business in the income producing main chunk before you go off and do other things. And what I mean by that is, so early in the morning, late at night, that's your affirmations, your reading, your meditation, all the things that when you can't really contact people, okay? When it's not so, people are, sort of, I tend to go up to 9 o'clock at night and then I'll make no more calls, okay? And I'll start my day making calls or reaching out about 10. Okay, so you've got to get what was right for you. Now, if you're working, a lot of you will be as well, you now need to structure that day. So if you come in from work, so let's say you get up, Miracle Morning is a great book. And if any of you have not started that, go buy it. There is a specific one for network marketers as well. But I have probably been doing this pretty much now, probably 5 days a week, I would say. I tend to get really early and I run and all of that. So the weekend I don't do that, I do less exercise, but I'm still doing a bit of this daily routine. So this is the perfect time to start that hour early in your morning because of the sun. It's light. It's not dark. It's not cold. So it's much easier when the sun is streaming in your curtain. Get up and do your hour of power. Okay. So that would be 20 minutes reading, 20 minutes of exercise, meditation, let's say, and 20 minutes of gratitude list and affirmations. That's your hour of power, okay? So the Miracle Morning book covers all of this, okay? But what that does, guys, it sets you up for success straight away for the rest of the day. Your mind is ready. You're already prepared. You've got that you've lifted, like we talk all about energy. Okay, so your energy is ready, okay, and you're right, and you feel in control, okay, because you know what happens when you don't do specific things. The day can run away with you, can't it? You're like, I've run out of time. I literally, so before you do anything else, no distractions, and by buying, awesome, thanks, Danny, for that. So by giving yourself that hour of power for you, okay, you're an hour up before the kids, all of that. So I don't care if that's 4 o'clock in the morning. How badly do you want this? Okay, really, you know, you can choose excuses, or you can choose, you can choose say, you know what, I want, everyone here wants, to have more money at the end of the day and build a successful business. So you start today or tomorrow, you start now. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, so in your daytime, if you're at work, okay, but you're going to find lunch hours. So anytime you can grab it in that 10 minutes, because we talk about this being, like doing it, slotting it in those nooks and crannies, and that's when you have to have a list of no matter what. So if that is speaking to, let's say, your 100 list. So you guys are quite new. Have you done your 100 list? Have you started working through the list? Who have you spoken to? How long ago did you speak to them? Do you need to go back and speak to them again? And when you did speak to them, what was the result? Okay, because if you've only spoken to somebody, let's say 3 weeks ago, how did you leave the conversation? So you've got to really understand, every time you reach out to somebody, you're looking for an end result before you put that phone down. And what is that? So have with you, a sheet of paper. So you're phoning for what? You're reaching out, and why are you reaching out? So all of you who was on the leadership academy yesterday, the training was done about reach out. It was really good. And who was it?
Was it Zoe about the invite, that one?
Yeah, that was really good. It could be that. I think it was also mixed.
Stacey did cold market prospecting.
Yeah, it was a mixture. It was a bit of everything. Yeah.
Was it Kerry and Michelle?
Yes, I think it. Yeah. So, okay, so you're structured. Okay, so you're contacting somebody. What for? What is the result? Because it's almost like you're guiding them. Okay, so you've made that contact, and you're guiding them to where the conversation's going, because you're reaching out. So you start off by, what are you looking for? So you need to know. You're going to ask them, hey, you know what? I thought why are you phoning these people? So first of all, you're phoning the people to get a one-to-one with them. Okay. So you haven't had a one-to-one yet. Okay. So you're asking, I'd love to meet with you. And there's loads of these sheets, because I know they were going to post them, weren't they, Danny? And
also I'll while you carry on talking, I'll show you where loads of invite verbiage is.
Great, thank you.
You carry on talking though, Fiona.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're going on about so know why you're phoning the person. So first of all, you're going to phone them about a one-to-one, setting up a one-to-one. Great. So coffee appointment. So would love to meet with you. Would you be open to that? And obviously Danny's going to go more into the invitations. And when is good with you? First of all, before you even ask them this, you need to make sure that you've asked them, is it a good time to talk if I caught you at a good time as well? Okay, because if you just roll like this because you're keen and you're excited, but you haven't had their they've not granted this time to you. Let's say you've just picked up the phone but they're just about to took out the door, you're kind of going to blow it already. So it's about just saying, oh, hi, hope you're well. Is this a good time to talk? Great if it is, and if not, say, when can I call you back? Put that in your diary and call them back at the time you said you would. And this is massive early days, because what I see is a lot of people either are really good at reaching out and not following up. Okay, so they can talk to people, they can set up appointments, but when they say they're going to call or get numbers that are faked or whatever, but when they say they're going to call back, they don't actually call back. And shame on you, because you've just missed a potential, preferred client, consultant, business partner there. Okay, so you're going to contact that person, ask if it's a good time to talk, get their permission, and then you use the verbiage you need to use. And thanks, Danny, so you can see all that stuff there.
Yeah, so this is on. If you go into the Do More page and you go into the photo albums, there's about 40 photo albums in the Do More page. But if you keep scrolling through the photo albums, one of the photo albums is called Invite Verbiage. And literally, there is screenshot after screenshot here. Now, you will read through this, and some of it will not sound like you at all, and that's okay. As I said before, there is something for everybody. So what you're probably best off doing is sitting down and going through all of these screenshots and picking which ones you like, which ones sound like you, and then adapting it more to be like you. And then if you want to do a little bit more on that, at the top of this photo album is some great recordings specifically on that skill that Fiona's talking about invite.
Great, super, thank you. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And then, so if your intention when you pick up that phone is to get a one-to-one with them, great. So you got the time. Hey, when's a good time for you? and you make that appointment, you book the appointment, okay? So you have, now I absolutely love this because this is the Arbonne tracker. Can you buy it still in business aids or not, Danny? No.
I don't know.
Stacey's saying no, you can't.
But I use my Pro Planner and it's really similar.
I've not seen it at all anywhere. I looked.
The Pro.
Oh,
the Pro
God.
Look at it again. I've got that. I have got that.
The Pro
What
Planner
does the Arbonne one look like, Fiona, inside?
Well, I've had lots. Every year I've had them. They last for about 14 months, but this is this one. I mean, I bought this a long time ago. I used to just buy and give it to my consultants like years ago. So I had so many packed up. But that's something I'm going to
like
head office. Oh, right. So what you've got is, so first of all, you've got, okay, so you've got an activity tracker. Okay, so this is you when you count all your follow-ups and your one-to-one. So it's literally what we do. And then what you do is you've got, so basically you've got your planners. You start wherever, this is the beginning of mine. So I started this in October 2016. So this is my month advanced look, okay? And then on a weekly basis, then this is my week.
Okay, so yeah, it's a lot like the Pro Planner, Danny, yeah? So I've already got that, yeah.
So it sounds like the Pro Planner's same thing. So guys, you need to invest.
For anyone that doesn't know, the Pro Planner is a diary that you can buy.
Perfect.
Pro Planner. I'll write it in the chat as well.
The only thing is, it's great, but it doesn't have a great deal of space for new especially if you're making more than 2 new contacts.
Do you know what I do? You know when the month doesn't start on a Monday, I use that. So let me find an example. So I'm trying to find you an example. So this has got gaps where the day hasn't started on Friday. So I use that and I'll write down all of my new contacts then, like what Fiona said, a bit about them. So I'd write something like
Sorry. I've just realised something as well. In fact, another thing that I do.
I need to utilise the Pro Planner more, definitely. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll get back to something in a minute. But I will say, hold on. My whole diary fell out. Because it's something that I'll share with you that is really, really handy. But I'll look at that in a minute. Okay. So right. Okay. So that's the first thing. Always now. How do you, okay, so when you work, a lot of people, I know the young ones, I mean, blueberry, raspberry, blackberry, whatever berry, I'm not a berry girl. I am a pen and paper, like, bring it with me, you know, and there is magic. I will say this has been proven again and again by Paul Proctor, who trained in The Secret, magic of writing. There is something about the art of writing, about the connection when it comes through from you writing it in your mind. So I will say, are you pen and paper? Okay, I will say, great to have this on the go, right? Actually, when you write names down, so always have a pen and paper, you know, because if you're out and about and a name pops into your head, that's an inspired thought, and inspired means in spirit. Write that down. You're meant to contact that person and don't leave it. Okay, so when you really get into the zone with this stuff, you know, if somebody pops, oh my God, so and so, you contact that person, whether it be a text or a call or a reach out on a Facebook private messenger. I don't care what that way is, but there's a reason you're meant to call that person as well. So act on these inspired thoughts because they're coming to you from some place that's giving you guidance. Okay, so you've got your list going through, you know exactly where you're taking the conversation to. So if you're reaching out for coffee one-to-one, you write it in. Okay, you give them a choice of 2. Now if you're texting, it's the same thing, so either speaking or texting, messaging. I know when's free to talk, then or then. Okay, so you give them a choice and they say 1. If they're not, you keep going until you find it, and that then it goes in your diary. Now, so this on the reach outs. Now I will say, guys, so you have to start doing this activity because what are we doing? To get to district, if you're doing your basic 2-2-2, which is 2 one-to-ones, 2 drop-offs, and 2 discover presentations, you know, and or discover Arbonnes, whatever order, we've got Zoom included in there, you're ranking up your activity. That's minimum 2, guys. I want you to be doing much more than 2, okay? Because if you know, at the end of the day, we're doubling this up. We're looking to create QV to go district. Once you get there, you know, it's your maintenance is like quarter of it. Okay, so you need to double the activity to get there. So, okay, so on that note, what I do is, so when you've got that one-to-one set, not to waste your time, what you do is you text them the day before or message them or whatever, and you say, I can't wait to see you at Starbucks at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, okay? Now, I normally get a reply. If I don't get a reply on the day I'm meeting them, I will text them again first thing in the morning, and I'll say, hey, can't wait to see you. If I don't hear from them, like within half an hour, I'm then going to call them. And if they probably don't pick up, I leave a voicemail and say, hey, look, hope you're okay, hope nothing's happened. Because don't always think the negative stuff, because we can't help that sometimes. But I can't wait, but can't wait to see you. Let me know. What I'll do is I'll wait to hear from you. If I don't, and I'll think that you won't be able to make it, we'll rearrange. That's it. And then I might do a prompt text. I'll say, hey, just let you know if I have your voicemail. So looking forward to hearing from you soon. That's it. And then if they don't hear from them, I don't go. I don't turn up. I don't. Early days, because I know you're so keen to get somebody to join your team, and you're like, oh my God, you know what? They're going to do me a favor, and what's going to happen? So you don't want to check up with them in case you don't turn up. You might remind them that they don't want to meet you, so you don't do anything, and then you turn up and they're not there. I had many people stand me up because I was scared of asking them before meeting them, but they may have forgotten, so you're prompting them, okay? So be professional, okay? Right. So now you meet them, and then you're going to do what you need to do. So, like I said, you're cranking up your activity. I think that's really important. So when you do your plan of action, you need to know. Now, there's somebody on the WhatsApp, and I really liked it. She was talking about, so we are going to go more into this, about the QV she needs to do to get to where she needs to go. So the activity is going to be what's going to get you there, okay? So we're talking about the 222, the reach outs. Make sure that you've got the list with you. Make sure you've got a pen and paper, a diary. You're always thinking about people to contact. You start contacting people, working through that 100 list. Now, if you've already spoken to somebody, let's say, and you go back to them, they didn't, let's say, want to have a coffee or whatever, every time somebody says no, you're going to then ask about the products. Would they be interested to try the products? If they say no, do you know anybody who would be interested? If they say no, would you be interested? If it's a no to the end, great, okay. But I would still say at the end of that conversation, is it okay if I come back to you in 3 to 6 months because things may have changed? So you have this list. Names will always stay on that list, guys. And I promise you, I would follow up every 6 months with these people who said no 6 months ago. And by the way, they've already joined your Facebook group, so they're already watching your beautiful lifestyle in Vegas and pool parties and whatever, whoever's going to turn them on or whatever. So they're following you, okay? And that's more powerful. We didn't have that before. So people get, so just, I then go back, and it took me 8 years to sponsor my bridesmaid to join my team, got her to district manager, and then she quit 6 months later. But that's okay, right? That's just okay. That's what I'm saying. So don't think a no is all the end. It's easier to get a no, meaning no, than a yes, meaning no. You've got to know the difference between the no, meaning the no, and the yes, meaning the no, okay? All right? So that's what I would do where that ends, okay? Right, so now I've got my list. I'm looking at one-to-ones. I've also got the products out. Now, how much you've invested at the beginning of this business as a district manager, obviously the 1,000 PQV, you'll never have to do that going any other level to an Arbonne. Now, I just want you to focus on becoming a district manager, okay? Because that's what you need to know for now, okay? Once you get there, we'll train you to go area. So don't worry about all that stuff, okay? Okay, so you've invested. You may already have had that investment or not. The 1,000 PQV is really because you're starting a business model. So you're going to need products, okay? Because your products are your business. These are your business aids, okay? They're your workers, okay? I love this. They don't answer me back. I don't pay them a wage. I have to get them out. So if you've got bags sat in your house and you're not getting them out and they're collecting dust, shame on you, okay? I remember somebody drilling this in my brain. It's like, I never have a bag in my house for even overnight if I can help it. As soon as I got a bag back, my mind is on my list. Who needs to try the bag next? And it's out. Okay, I get it, I receive, and I'm already giving it out on the same day. I don't want to have a collection of samples in my house or gold bag. Thanks, Danny. Okay, gold bag is a gold set, RE9 range. So that's, you know, your cleanser, toner, serum, eye, day, night. You can put a facial oil in there. Could be the calm range, calm set. Could be the FC5 set. It's diminishing the men's set. That's what I mean by bag, a set. Okay. Now, that's 1,000 PQV, which is about £600. If you have personally invested that, and you know what, everybody's doing different things with Arbonne. Okay, so it's your budget. But but at the end of the day, that's why it's 1,000 PQV, because they know you're going to need to have these products for people to trial, because this is what we do. So you may have 4 gold bags and 2 men's bags and 2 calm sets, okay, or some shampoos and primers and spa ranges and bits and bobs that you can share with everybody, okay? So like I said, those bags are out. Go to district manager. If you perhaps invested, let's say £300-400, so you don't have as many bags to get out to people, because the beauty with bags is you get to meet them to have to get the bag back. So you're really building a relationship with those people. But there's nothing wrong with the sachet sample sets, okay? So in fact, Nikki Marchand, my new region, I sponsored her on a sachet sample set. Okay, it's the same product, it's just not the wowzer factor. So I would really encourage all of you to go and buy 40. That's 40, so that's 10 sets. So when you buy, so it's like, I think, how much for the gold range? Yeah, thanks, Danny. So it's 6,000 in 2 months and 7,500 in 3 months, and 1,000 PQV opens the door. You go into it's a 3-month window, so to speak, or 2,500 in your central district. So at any time of that promotion, you need to do 1,000 PQV. So you may do 2,500. You have a team already, month 1, and you've done 300 PQV, and at some point you have to make that up to over 1,000. Okay, so it could be, so most people I know come in on 1,000 PQV, right? Because they're investing in their business and themselves. So I would suggest go and get yourselves we do a 40 faces sheet as well. Have you heard of the 40 faces sheet, everybody? No. Okay. I'm gonna leave that one to no, I'll just talk about 40 faces. So basically, Danny, is that 40 faces sheet on again?
Do you know what? I'm not actually sure, but if anybody doesn't know what it is, it's like an A4 sheet of paper. So imagine this is an A4 sheet of paper, and on it you've got 40 different cartoon faces, but the cartoon faces have got enough space for you to write who you've spoke to that month. And the idea is you speak to 40 people that month. So if you did, let's say you did a party, I don't know who does parties here or who doesn't, but let's say you did a party, and at every party there was 10 people. You'd only have to do 4 parties to be in front of 40 people. Or alternatively, you could do 40 one-to-ones. And then, so each of those 40 faces, you just fill in that person's name. It could even be an online DA, or it could be anything. But the idea is you speak to 40 different sets of people over the space of a month. So I'll try and find where that document is, because it is actually a really good document.
Yeah, it's quite good because you get to see as you go along your month, you're building on your people, aren't you? So you've got 8 names and you've got 12 names. So the law of averages states that for 10 people you speak to, you'll get basically 3 people will join. Okay, one will be a preferred client, one will be consultant, not very good, and that's not really nasty, but and then one will be a good consultant. Okay, so if that is the case, and then you do 100 people to get 10 good consultants, and one of those good consultants will be an ace. Is your law of averages. Okay, that's a proven record thing going on there, right? So to get better at the game, early days, you need to do more practice. And as you do Arbonne for longer and longer, you don't need as many exposures because you have mastered you'll be very professional. You've mastered the art of network marketing. Okay, so I had a lot more no's at the beginning than I do now. Don't be deterred by that. You have to learn, right? Think of yourself as a learner driver in that car, all right? Kangaroo petrol. It's going to be a little bit like, oh Jesus, and now you drive without even thinking. You're like, how do I even get there? Like, I don't know how to get there. And it will get to the point, guys, when if you are getting these no's, I don't even know when I get a no anymore. I honestly have no clue. Like, people will say, it will affect you, and you've got to keep your emotional state above the feeling of being hurt, yeah, business plan and mode. I'm just going to say as well, can I just say, this is what I have for people trying the product. So different colors of the different bags, the name, and this here is the date. So literally I can do a drop off and a follow up, a drop off and a follow up. Have you seen that, Danny?
No.
Yeah, you see, this is a results tracking sheet that, oh my gosh, like, so what we basically do is, we basically, I'm a circle, so I'm not great at filling things in. I've got all people's names because I had so many bags. So what I would do, you can see this, these were the bags, these are the people, contact details, and this is the, and then you can add in, so you could put the dates, so 1, 2, the first, second, fourth, fifth, and then you have a drop off here of the number 5 and a follow up here of number 5 and then number 6. Does that make sense? I'll send that over.
I'll just answer, Victoria's just, I don't know what you prefer to be called, Victoria, Vic, or Vicky. What do you prefer to be called?
Victoria's fine.
Okay, so Victoria, to answer your question, so you've put, what if you can't afford to do 1,000 points in your personal shop? It's a really good question. And again, I think you guys are really going to benefit because me and Fiona are so different. Fiona, when she started her business, she invested what, £1,500 in your business, Fiona? Yeah. Whereas for me, I could barely afford the £50 to get started. So you've got two completely different people that have joined the business yet are succeeding, and that again just emphasizes that there is a place for everybody. So what I did was I actually put on a credit card for £56 to start the business, and I did my 150 points so that I could get my free product, and that was it. I literally couldn't afford anything else. So then what I did was I invested my time and energy. So I didn't have money to invest, so I invested my time and energy. So rather than actually physically trying all of these products, I literally researched the heck out of every product. I researched the RE9 so that I knew every single thing about the RE9 without actually having tried it. Obviously, it's easier to try it. Of course that is. But if it's not an option for you, there are other ways. So what I did was I researched everything I could about the products, and then I started speaking to people about the products, saying to them, so-and-so that I know has tried this thing called Digestion Plus, it's pre and probiotics, it does X, Y, Z. And I just started talking about the products to people. And one key thing that you should always say is everything has a full 6-week money-back guarantee. So people hear that and they go, what? So you can just try it, and even if you use it all, you can send it back after 6 weeks. And you say, yeah. And that really appeals to people. So what I did was I was talk about all of the research that I'd done. People started buying the products, and then what I found was with my Arbonne paycheck, I was then able to invest back into my business so that I could then actually start buying these products. So I was getting paid and I was investing it back in. And it was when I went district qualification that I then invested more money so that I could start buying my gold bags. So your gold bags are those RE9 bags, or even the Calm skincare set, so that I could start letting people use them for 24 hours or 48 hours. So I didn't actually do any major investment until I was going for district. So that's just my journey. Fiona has a different journey. But one thing that I'd always say is whatever you can't do, don't focus on that, because we all have things we can't do. And if I'd focused too much on thinking I can't afford to buy the products, it wouldn't have propelled me forward. So instead of thinking what I couldn't do, I was like, right, okay, what can I do? And that's one thing that I really want everybody here to do. You have probably got a list as long as your arm of all the things that you can't do for many different reasons, but don't focus on that because it's not going to move you forward. So focus on what you can do. So if you've got children and you're not able to get onto the Zooms until like 9 o'clock, don't worry about that. Just get on the ones after 9 o'clock. Focus on what you can do. Don't worry about what you can't do, because focusing on what you can't do is just going to literally drag you back. It's going to be like a weight on your shoulders. So focus on what you can do always.
Good one, Danny. This is the bag, by the way. So like Danny said, it's very different. Everyone's budget's different. Everyone's time is different. You know, everyone's needs are different. But I would say get 40 sachets. You know, that it's like I bought a sachet for a while, but it's about £12, I think, for how much is it? I don't actually know.
The RE9?
Yeah, it's more than that. The Calm range, how much is it for 10 on the business days? Do we know it? I think it's £8. Anyway, £8 to get 10 sachet samples, yeah? Yep. And then that means 10 people for £8. So if you buy 40, you know, like become in sets of 10. So if you bought 4 sets of 10, say 2 gold and 2 calm, or a men's 10, and you get that out, that's activity. That's cranking up your activity, okay? That's what I want you to understand. So these are great, you know, but also sachet samples are just as good. It's the same product, okay? Yet it's not, you know, yes, you don't get the good follow-up maybe because you can, you know, use it and then make an excuse you don't have to actually physically be in front of them again. But it's still, you know, a really great way to reach out over, you know, you're looking, if you're going to promote, and you need to decide whether you're going to promote in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, okay, as well. So that's going to be occurring in your plan. And then if you're going to do, how much do you need to do? And break it down into how many months. So if you're going to do 6,000 over 2 months, you know, go for halfway point. Go for 3,000, 3,000. I've always done that. I think it's really good. For, you know, Danny and I will always say 2 months promotion because it drains you guys, okay? You have to be a high energy, and it's 2 months is a long time, okay? I did good district manager in 1 month, but remember I did invest, okay? So for me, you know, I had 2 girls and we all invested, the 3 of us at the same time. So that was how it was back for me in those days. But there's nothing wrong if you come in.
There's only ever been, I think, apart from you, Fiona, I think there's only ever been 2 people in our team, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fiona, that have done district over 2 months. So one was Vic McHale, so she did 6,000 points over 1 month, and that was August a couple of years ago. She's a teacher, so she had the whole summer holidays off, and she literally did on every single day. And then the second person was Emma Wood, who spoke at Leadership yesterday, and she did it over Vegas month, so over April this year. So obviously she had a lot of customers and clients buying the I Want It All set. So she did 6,000 points over 1 month. Anybody else, Fiona?
No.
So it's
No,
not.
it's really rare.
It's not the norm. It's doable. Anyone can do it, but it's not the norm. The norm is to do 3,000 1 month, 3,000 points the second month.
Yeah. And the reason why I would encourage 2 months, guys, as you're thinking about this, is because as well, you're leaving money lying on the table. So if you're doing it at 7,500, so you're doing that over 3 months, that's 1,500 of QV at a lower percentage than if you were a district manager. You know, so again, it's your decision. It's there for you. You decide. Again, we're just giving you advice here and top tips that we've experienced along the way. So, you know, if you come in, let's say, and you can, and you decide to invest, great. Like Annie didn't have the means and the capability, but you get busy, okay? Because that PQV is not just your money; it's also your preferred clients. So you get busy doing parties, okay, launches. You know, you do a minimum of 4 in your first month, okay? I really want you to crack on for 8 to 10. So there was a little saying, I remember 8 to be great, 10 to, do you remember that saying they used to say about how many parties a month? 6 to be, I can't remember. It's like
I'm a one-to-one person. So Fiona builds her business mainly on parties, which is great, and I mainly do mine on one-to-ones. But whatever you do, if you do an activity, it's fine. Or you can even do a mix.
Yeah, sure. So I basically, my thing is I am a bit of a district manager promoting machine. So Debbie Neal once said, promote somebody to district every month and have somebody complete every month. And that's how I've worked my business for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. 1 in qual, 1 promote, 1 in qual, 1 promote, 1 in qual. So for me, it's about getting them into mass activity very quickly, because your team will copycat you. All right. So, you know, what you come in at, they'll say, so what did you do then? What did you do in your business? So, you know what, if you're playing with your business and you're feeding and pay, you know, you like, it'd be a hobby, and a hobby doesn't pay you. I'm only one-to-ones a week, Danny.
I show the Arbonne story, if you like, to probably about 10 people a week, but that's not always people sat down having a coffee. That can be a phone call, that can be a Zoom call, that can be a recording video of myself. But I probably show about 10 people a week the Arbonne story.
Yeah. So what I would do is, if I was to do 2 parties a week and have 5 people per party, that's 10.
Exactly. Yeah. So those are different ways. Has anybody here got their business plan they wanted to share with everybody? Yeah. Is that you, Angie? You nodding? Looks like a nod. Shall I unmute you? There you go. Show us your business. Talk us through your business plan then, so we can all see and hear. Can you talk, Angie? No. Oh no.
No, she's.
Oh, okay. We can't hear you. But it looks.
Can we see her? Can you see her plan though?
Not really. Can anyone else?
No.
Okay, we'll have to have a look at it on the WhatsApp. Has anyone else got theirs that they want to go over?
So obviously I'm a new area, but I want to have a clear plan for region, which I know this is DM though, that's the only thing.
Yeah,
so.
we'll do that. We'll do that on another call.
Yeah.
But we will do that, I promise. Okay, well, I'll let me show you guys a rough idea of a plan. So if you've got pen and paper, write this sort of thing down. Obviously, it needs to be tailored for you. So I would recommend, like Fiona said, doing a district over 2 months. You absolutely don't have to, though. You can do it over 1 month and you can do it over 3. But just for the purpose of this business plan, I'm going to show you it over 2 months. So over 2 months, you need 6,000 points. And when I say points, that means exactly the same as QV. It just, in my head, sounds simpler, but it's the same as QV. So you need 6,000 points over 2 months. So what I would suggest is in month 1, you aim for 3,000 points, and in month 2, you aim for 3,000 points or more. Obviously, you can do more. That is what I would suggest. That is just a suggestion of a business. Now, the average order that most people will place in your business is 150 points. Now, we all know from experience that some people spend less, some people spend more, but the average order is 150 points. So what I do when I'm doing my business plan is I base the average order that somebody would spend, so whether that's a consultant or whether that's a PC or whether that's a client or a customer, the average spend, I always say, is 150 points. So this business plan is based on that. You can actually change this. So if you find that your average customer spends less, you can tailor this around it. But let's stick with 150 just to keep it really, really simple. So I'm just going to rub that out a second. So rub that all out. Oh, losing my rubber.
Sorry, Danny, what I was going to ask, obviously we don't just have customers, we also include business builders. So how do you include that just as the 150 as well? Yeah,
because I find that the average consultant spends 150 points as well.
When they sign up. Okay, thank you.
Good question though. Okay, so if we're going to go for, if we're going to aim to go into qualification, so let's do it this way. Let's say that it's July now. So let's say I'm a consultant and I want to go district qual in August. I know to go district qual in August, I need to go into qualification 2,500 QV. Now, I know we just said 3,000 a minute ago. If you can get 3,000, even better. You need a minimum of 2,500 total team points to go into qualification. Now, in that, qualification basically means, I'm trying to think how to explain this. Qualification means that when you go for any promotion level in Arbonne, they don't just let you promote just like that. Like for me to go to the next level, Arbonne wouldn't just let me go to the next level because in 1 month I did loads of points. They want to see you've got that consistency in your business. So in the first month that you bring in a lot of volume, they say that you've gone into qualification. And then the second month or even the third month that you bring in enough volume, if the total adds up to those numbers that we've been talking about, then you've completed that level. So for district, which is obviously level 1 that we're all going for here, there are 2 ways to get into qualification. And the first is 2,500 team points. So that's you and your whole team. Or the other way that you can get into qualification, because there is another way, is 1,000 personal points. So we call that PQV, which basically means you don't count your team in this. So if you're a team of 1, if you did 1,000 personal points, so you, your customers, your events, that puts you into qualification as well. So those are the 2 different ways to go into qualification. So let's just say in August, my business plan is to do 2,500 team points to get myself into qualification, okay? So if that is my plan for August, I need to work out how many people I need doing that average spend. So the average spend, 150 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 2,500 total points divided by the average spend, which is 150. And that means that I need 17 people shopping in my business. And those 17 people shopping in my business can be independent consultants that I sponsor or that they sponsor that are part of the team. It can be my PCs, so they're your preferred clients. It can be clients. It could be people that host an event for you. So you've hosted an event at somebody's house. It can even be your own spend. So one of those 17 could be your own spend. So in August, if I'm looking at going district qualification, I'm looking to help 17 people place an order in my business. So far, has anybody got any questions on going into qualification with that? If not, I'll carry on with completing. Okay, so I'll just rub that out. Right. So if in August I've gone into qualification with 2,500, I hope I'm giving you these numbers right. I think I am. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting confused by my own numbers. So if in August I'm going into qualification, then that means in September I'm looking at completing. So the total points that I need is 6,000. So you can go into qualification in August with 2,500 team points, or you could go in with more, or you could go into qualification with 1,000 personal points. But it doesn't matter what you do. In total, you need 6,000. So if we're going to go into qualification in August and then we're going to complete in September, the total amount of points running through our business needs to be at least 6,000 points. So if it needs to be at least 6,000 points, let's work out how many shopping, personal purchases we need. So divide that by 150 average shop again. That is 40 purchases. So 40 people making a purchase of 150 points. And again, that can be consultants in your team, that can be your own spends, that can be your preferred clients, your customers. So over those 2 months, over August and September, you need 40 purchases from your business and your whole team. So then what I do is I break it down even more. So if I need 40 spends over those 2 months, then that means that's 20 a month. So 20 in August, 20 in September. And then I break it down even more to, if I'm working 5 days a week, then that is 5 spends a week. So if you did one party like Fiona, that's that done. Or you might have to do 5 one-to-ones like myself. So you can mix it up. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. So you need 5 of these orders a week. So that makes that 1 a day, based on a 5-day week. So 1 a day. So you have to say to yourself, do I want to have five people buying from my website a week through doing one party, or do I want to meet 5 different people for a coffee? And again, not everybody will buy from your business, so you're going to have to talk to more people than what you actually need. So this is kind of like my logic of how I strip this back. Has anyone got any questions on that? Fiona, did you want to add anything there?
Yeah. Also, just to say that you have to complete, the month you complete, you have to do 2,500. So if you go into this and you do 5,000 in your first month, thinking I only need 1,000 to do the following month, no, you have to do 2,500. So I've been caught out with that a couple of times. So that's important as well.
Okay, so I'm just going to read that out. So Esmeralda said, if I have 1,000 personal points in June, does my 2 months include June, July, or July? But it includes June. So if you go into qualification in June, then that is month 1 for you. So the month you go into qualification is month 1. So for you, Esmeralda, your month 1 will be June. So you can now do 5,000 in July to complete, or you can spread it over July and August and complete over 3 months. Does that make sense?
Let's say every time you do 1,000 PQV, you will or that month is always your month one opening the doors. So that's why a lot of people sit in DM call for so long, because they're doing thousands. So they're in DM call. And then the next month they may do 1,000 again, DM call, you know, so this is how you can carry on. So we recognize people, recognition of brand new DMs in call, district management qualification, and then also you're continuing, you know, 1, 2 or 3 month window, DM call. I would say on that, so Danny, I'm just going to do my little whiteboard here as well with you guys. So showing how I would tend to structure, because I tend to do more group parties and presentations than one-to-ones. But actually, even though I do more of this, I still do what Danny does. So across the board as well, I just tend to find that, you know what, off the back of a party, and I've got people who are interested. If I think somebody is really, you know, interested in the business, I, in my mind, they may not know this, but I'm watching the room, and I will find 2 people in that room who I'm at the end, and it just depends how the evening goes. But, you know, obviously we're going to get all the details because we're going to film the sheets at the end, if they buy or not, join as a preferred client or not. At the end, or the very next day, I'm going to say to these people, hey, do you know what? I think you'd be amazing at this business. And I'll give them the reason why I've picked up on that, the fact that they're very open, friendly, great aura about them, and then I will arrange a one-to-one with them. So this is what Danny's doing. So then I would go and see them, whether they'd born that evening or not, with a set for them to trial, or a sachet sample, it doesn't matter, for them to trial with, you know, with a follow-up as well. And then I'm going to give them exposures, meanwhile, between when I first meet them to when I follow up with them. You know, so it's going to be, you know, send them a link to Arbonne, you know, Discovery or whatever that is. So, you know, I'm keeping them in the flow. But for me, I find it very powerful to launch people. So somebody says yes, and then I'm like, great, okay, minimum of 4 parties in your first month, because I'm looking straight away to get into their social circle of influence. Because not being funny, these people may not stay in my business. You know, people in your business for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I want to get into their network as fast as humanly possible, because if they fall out, I'm left with their network, and I would never had a chance. I would never, you know, maybe have a chance again, get into the network. So that's why I do mass exposure. So to me, it's like I feel, you know, like, and I kind of suppose, you see, I'm not as Facebook. See, that is Danny's thing. She's incredible. This is why Danny has team all over the place. I tend to be a lot more. My team is a lot more localized in a way, because I tend to do it more, you know, one-to-one. It's just how it is, and it works. It's wonderful for all of us. So if I'm looking to, let's say, so it's July here. So, and we're going for, like Danny said, say no matter what, 2,500. You know, we are aiming to go halfway, because it's a lot easier when you hit that 50, do it all again the next month. You know, if you've only done 1,000, 5,000 is a lot to do the next month. Okay, it's a big ask, so you really want to come in strong. So then what I would do is I'd launch. So let's say I'm doing, let's say I want to do 5 parties. Okay, so this is where I'm going to get the people to invite their people around, friends and family. Even granny comes to buy a token hand cream. That's great, you know. Bring them all in, you know. So my aim is to sell products there on the night. Now, if they don't have the products, I will bring mine in. Okay, I'll set up my products while they're building up their stock. I'm quite happy to do that. And then I'm basically doing I get them to do their why, because they're not there for me. They're there for the person they're supporting and they love. So they do their why. And I don't go too heavy in the business. What's it? Okay, remember to catch that kid. Yeah, we'll do the questions now.
We'll come back to the questions. You carry on. We'll come back to them.
Okay, so what I want to do is so basically, you know, they do their why, and I'll come in, and I'm not really heavy in the business, but they know there's a business there because they're there to support whoever. But I will drop it in between. Like I will just, you know, I'm not doing a DA. My job is not there. My job is for people to have fun, to buy as well, because I'm getting QV for that new person. And then my job is obviously to look for people in the room to reach out to, and follow up. Okay. So if I'm having 5. Now, our average, probably my parties, we average between 200 to 500. I mean, let's let's say that, I mean, it's probably more going to be like that, okay? But you don't know. Maybe only, only thing with parties, like, new people can be quite upset because people will say, oh, come, oh, I did 1,000 invites on Facebook and nobody came, and you have to deal with that. And you're like, okay, well, that's not quite the reach out method. So make sure that you're training your people, the fact that they actually need to text or get personal or phone to do the personal invites, not just a generic invitation, because it's like junk mail. People are they're too busy. They've got their own things going on. And then I've got 10 people come, and then they get the text come through. My kid's sick, or my dog ate the cat and ran away with the budgie. I don't know, whatever they're saying, excuses. So what ends up that, that 10 goes down from 6 to 4 to 2. I don't care if it's 2 people, because I've had incredible results where, 2 people and 1 person ends up joining the team on that night. There's Claudia Redlich on this here. She was the lady I sponsored. It was just Claudia. Everyone cancelled, but she's here 4 years later, district manager in the business. So you don't know. That's the whole point. So when you feel you're doing all this extra activity, guys, and you feel like I'm not getting anywhere, it's like, it can be really deflating. You're like, oh God, I've spoken to 20 people. I've only had 1 person say no, and whatever. Just know you're that further forward. So it is delayed gratitude, and it will come. And the universe is testing you. How badly do you want this? So you have to understand that, even if you may feel that, like, I don't feel I've got anywhere. I had 4 bags out, and I was thinking, right, so if everybody bought a bag, that's 300 and, it's not 350 bags, it's a bit over, but let's say 350 QV per gold bag sale. So that gives me 350 times 4. So that's me, right? And you're thinking like this. I used to think like that. Every time I did a drop off, or a sachet stop, I used to think, so if that person then buys and, and then they wouldn't buy, and then I'd have collecting bags, and 2 weeks later, I've only sold 1 serum. And it's like, oh my God, that's normal. That's how this works. So this is why you just crank up your activity, okay? So if I'm doing 5 at 500, so 5, so that's 2,500. Okay, lovely. All right, that's that covered. That is an ideal world. Okay, let's say we get 3. Okay, so 2 parties end up cancelling. We're down to 3. So now we've got 1,500. So we need to find the other 1,000. That's going to come from one-to-ones. That's going to come through, the sachet samples. That's going to come through, through other ways, being creative in this business. You're an entrepreneur, people. That means you have to think outside the box. Yes, our systems are here, but you know what? You've also got to get really, I love doing things like, I actually, went to pubs and ask landladies, like, even if you don't want to do it at your house, you don't want to keep going to the same people, the same resources, like your recycling list. That's why you need to reach to new people. Can you bring your friends rather than you always asking your friends, because it gets a bit boring in the end for your friends, So I would think of places to go and get events. So I went around all the pubs, said to the landlady, okay, what's your quietest night? Monday night, great. If I can guarantee double business, would you do a party for me? What's your charity of your choice? Great, I'll donate 10% to that charity. That's what I did. So I was thinking of other ways, not just people's homes, but where can I meet groups of people or get groups of people together where I can introduce the products and tell them a little bit about what I do, but I want them to be intrigued enough to follow up with me. I hope that helps. Danny, back to you for a while.
Yeah, and I think everything Fiona's just said goes back then to those 2 lists. Like when Fiona was first introduced to business, she was introduced around the poolside in America. So she didn't ever have a sponsor giving her any kind of advice or coaching. But instead of thinking to herself, well, I don't have somebody telling me what to do, I don't have somebody lending me products, I don't have somebody doing launches for me, she very much focused on, okay, what can I do? And that's what I love about everybody that's on this call tonight. You are I can people. And you don't hear from you guys saying, I can't do, my sponsor isn't able to do X, Y, Z for me, or I don't have any friends, or I don't have any time. Like you guys are all very much, I can, right? What can I do? And that's exactly what Fiona was. Fiona was thinking outside the box. So I want you to, after this call ends tonight, what I want you all to do is definitely do your business plan and share it on the WhatsApp. make sure you put dates on it, because there's been some amazing business plans on the WhatsApp, but sometimes some people haven't put their dates on it. You need to put your dates on it of when you want to go into qual, how much you want to go into qual by, and then like what Fiona said, then break it down. How many workshops or parties are you going to do? Are they going to be in-person ones, or are they going to be online ones? And then are you going to do some one-to-ones? You know, really break it down into what you're going to do. And your parties can absolutely be online as well. Fiona does some fabulous online parties. Do your business plan and then write down what you can do. Okay, so if you are, say like me, actually no, say like Fiona, single mom, she had no network around her, she had no sponsor around her. So if you were like Fiona, what would you do when you sat down to write down the list of what you can do? She didn't focus on all of the things that she wasn't able to do. She focused on what she could do. So everybody here has got their own struggles and their own strife. We all have. But what we want to do is focus on what we can do. So I want you to write a list of what you can do. So if you can do online parties, write that down. Write down, I can do an online party one time a week or 2 times a week. If you are able to do online, let's say Zoom one-to-ones with somebody that you know in Australia or somebody that you know in Canada or any of the other countries that are in, write that down. If you are able to go to a pub because you live local to a pub and ask them if you can host an event, just like what Fiona said, if you are able to do that, write that down, that you're going to go to your local pubs or wherever else is around you and ask if you can do a charity event. If you are able to go out to a shopping centre and declare that you're going to find 5 new friends out in a shopping centre, which is very easily done. It is scary as hell, I will not lie to you, but if you're willing to build your business to district, which you all are, you've all declared that you're willing to build your business to district, then you'll be willing to do whatever it takes. So you can go to a local supermarket, a local shopping centre, and literally walk around all the shops and then speak to and interact with the staff. So if it was me, let's say I went into a supermarket and Stacey did an amazing training on this yesterday. If you're at the checkout and the man or the lady at the checkout was putting all your food through, you know, beep, beep, just start a conversation with them. So if it was Stacey, I'd be like, in fact, Stacey, do you want to just share this? This is basically your training. I'm stealing it, and I shouldn't be, because you're there. Just say what you would say to somebody at the checkout, like talking to people that are totally cold market.
Dee, you better be my little person then. Let's reenact yesterday. So my shopping's going through. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Would you like me to pack your bags for you?
No, I can do that, thanks. But I did forget my bag, so I'll have to grab some. How's your day been? Good?
Yeah, it's been not too bad, thank you.
Has it been busy in here?
Very busy. I'm absolutely shattered. Can't wait to get home.
How long have you been working here?
Oh, what? About 3 years now.
Oh, brilliant! You must love it.
Not really. It's just a way of making some money, because obviously you've got to pay the bills, keep a roof over your house, and put food in the baby's belly. So yeah.
So what would you do then if you could do anything? What would you be doing?
Oh, I don't know, anything but this. Probably go back to college, learn something so that I could earn some proper money.
Oh, what do you want to learn? What are you interested in?
Oh, I love drawing. I love art. So something to do with that. I'd probably love to sell my own art and open up my own shop and sell my own work.
Creative then. That's bloody amazing. Well, do you know what? I'm a health and wellness consultant, and I have an amazing online business. And do you know what? With your creativity, I think you'd be perfect at what I do. Would you be interested in finding out more?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, great. Give us your number. Or are you on Facebook?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, yes.
Great. Let's add each other on Facebook, and we can meet up for coffee next week. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
How simple was that? I mean, going out and speaking to people which you don't know, that's called your cold market, is an amazing way to build your business, because it's actually easier to build your business in your cold market than it is the people you know, because the people you know probably won't take you seriously until you've at least got that car. They'll be like, yeah, we'll see if you're still doing it in a year's time. So it's actually easier to build your business with people that you don't know. So what I would love everybody to do is to write out their business plan, and then to write out a list of the things that you can do. Before we wrap up, Dee, you are a brand new district manager. Would you be happy just to share a few of your top tips for everybody that is obviously striving to be where you ended a couple of days ago?
Oh,
on the spot.
I don't know. It is a bit on the spot. I don't actually know how I've done it, to tell you the truth. It's been a bit of a whirlwind for me. My goal was the 31st of August, and I've actually done it beforehand. I think it was just a boost of my ICs, my IC coming on board and bringing her sister along, and them just spending. And then I actually went to my mum and said to her, "Oh my goodness, I'm in DM Qual." And then she said, "Well, that's fantastic. What can I do to help you?" And I said, "Well, I need some products. I don't have any demo products because I just don't have enough, spare cash after I paid my bills and done all the other things with my children." And she said, "Okay, do you want me to buy your products for you? I'll forfeit buy my products this month and buy your products for you." And she actually bought some products, and then she said, "Has that helped you?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Why are you wavering?" And I said, "Well, I need a bit more." And she said, "Well, how much more?" I said, And I was really reluctant. And in the end, she said, "Okay, I'll put £500 through." And that's what she did.
Wow.
Dee,
So
I
that's
think
actually how
you've forgotten a couple of key points. You
Go on.
launched. You done incredible launches for your new ICs. You dedicated time and energy to them every day to train and mentor them. You don't give yourself enough credit, girl. And then they went on, because of your training, they went on to get preferred clients. They went on, they saw the business for what it was, and they went on to start doing their own meetings and their own one-to-ones. You are bloody amazing. Now take that credit, girl.
Oh.
Yeah, I did do that. I'm shattered, and that's why I'm shattered. 2 weeks. We've just been doing it on and off for about 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. So yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Wonderful. And then we've also got Claudia on. Are you happy to share a little bit about, because you've actually gone district twice as well, so you probably like a wealth of knowledge, Claudia. Can you share anything?
Yeah, this time it was so much. It was easier somehow, probably because I've done it before and I knew that I could. I knew what I was doing. Just years of like all the training and watching everybody else absorbing everything. The WhatsApp groups really help, because even if you're not active talking in it, you're reading comments and learning loads. I'd bought the I Want It All set from Vegas, and so did somebody else in my team. And yeah, it just happened. I think I just believed it was going to happen, and I knew it was going to happen, and it did. But like Stacey was saying, how she got to area, with Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and the May Cause Miracles. I'd done those 2 books as well. Yeah, it's really interesting, and I went out with purpose, like, because I knew that I was looking for this and I needed something. I thought, if I was like that, there must be other people out there like that. So I kind of like made a deal with the universe. I was like, okay, you put these people in front of me and I'll talk to them. And yeah, I sponsored more people like in the last couple of months than like the whole of last year. So yeah, just be on purpose.
Yeah. And do you know what, that's a key point as well. Before I hand over to Fiona to wrap up, people are out there looking for this. So when I was first starting my business, I was really worried that there was no one else out there looking for better skincare products. I was worried that there was no one else out there looking for free from paraben deodorant. I was worried there was no one out there looking for better nutrition, because nobody else could possibly have like IBS or gut irritations or eczema. There definitely was nobody else out there like that, and there must not have been anybody else out there looking for a plan B income, because everybody enjoys their job. Everybody's got all the free time in their world that they want. So I actually talked myself into convincing myself that nobody out there was looking for what I was looking for when I was looking for Arbonne. And then what I realized is actually a lot of people are willing to pay good money for something that's going to solve their skincare issues. They will. If it's going to work, they are absolutely willing to pay good money for skincare solving products. People are out there that are willing to pay for paraben-free products. You know, cancer's on the rise massively, so people are in the know now. They are willing to pay for paraben-free products. And do you know how many people hate their job, or they love their job but they've got no free time? So many people. So please remember, there are so many people out there looking for Arbonne. They just have never heard of Arbonne, and they don't realize it is even an answer to their problems. So you are a solution finder for people. You just have to find people, find the problem that they have by asking good questions, listening to them. They will tell you, if you ask good questions, they'll tell you what their problem is in life, and then you can provide the solution for them. If you can give somebody a solution for something they're looking for, they're going to snap your hand right off, I promise you now. So I'm going to hand over to Fiona before we wrap up.
I think, Stacey, did you want to say something, sweetie?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all right, if you don't mind. So basically, I get a lot of connections in the summer from fairs, and I do, so you know, you've got the little customer care card. I make them small, so I get 4 on a page. I cut them up, stick them on a bit of card, and I do what they call kiss the card. So they're trying the lipstick on, and they get to win a makeover or a facial. If they're not a makeup person, they get to win a facial. And so I think it's a really good way to get details, and also you can engage in a conversation while they're filling their details out, and you can ask them what they're interested in, just build up that rapport. Because by doing that, I had a lot of one-to-one bags booked. And stuff like that. So try and get to every fair possible. Also, you'll see on Facebook or wherever, brownie groups or whatever, people always asking for raffle donations. So I make up a raffle ticket for a free facial or a makeover, and then I'll put a load of samples in there. And the reason that reminded me is because I just had a message saying a lady had won a facial, had won my voucher, and how does she get in contact with me, because I completely forgot to put my number on the on the voucher. But the point is that we're offering a service, and it's about being genuine. So we are actually giving our time and giving the amazing products that we've got, and allowing people to use those. And then you could book a one-to-one from that. Obviously, you're going to do that. You could talk about the products of business. It automatically comes up, and then you can then say, oh, you know, you can try the products for 3 days or 2 days or whatever it is. So there's fairs are a really good way to get in front of a good 30 or 40 people in one day. So, and that's a small school fair. So fairs are really, really important.
Cool. Thanks, Stacey. I just going to say that on the fairs as well. If you're doing fates and reach outs, people aren't necessarily going to come to these fates to think of changing their skincare or even a business thing. They're going to, you know, they want to spend £2.50 or £3 or whatever. So I do sell the sachet samples at £2.50, £3.50 each, because you put a value on something, they'll be more likely to use the sachet samples and not. So I don't give them out for free, and I always get a phone number, and I always let them know I'm going to phone them in 5 days, and I'll even say what time's best for you, and then I make sure that I phone them. Okay, but when they've walked away, they've walked away, I've asked as many questions as I can, so I've engaged in them, so I already know. And it's great about the time to put the lipstick on, the time to all of that, the longer conversation I can have with somebody, even though all these people come to the store and going off, and I'm thinking I've just lost 10 people. I haven't. I'm engaged with this one person. Okay, so I now, when they walk away, on the back of my notes, I've written 2 dogs, 3 kids, lives wherever, loves running, loves fitness. So when I engage with them, I'm going to start my relationship building is about, so you know how was this first day at preschool, how's this, how's that, isn't it great weather to go for a run in, or whatever I'm doing. So I'm having a conversation, and because you know what, I'm listening. You have ears to listen, not to answer back, not to answer right. Listen to understand who they are, where they're coming from. So even if it's just a sachet sample, it doesn't matter. I'm now making a friend, okay? And a stranger's a friend I've just not made yet. But I'm talking to strangers, and like I made it my mission. So in April, going nation, I had to speak to 5 new people a day. So I literally go out. That was what I did. If I didn't speak to 5 new people a day, I wasn't going nation. That was my whole thing. I do this stuff to myself all the time. So I had to go speak to 5 new people. That's what I did. Even in a pub, in a pub garden, the weather was gorgeous, the Grand National was on, and I'd spoken to 4 and I had 1 more to go, and I'm thinking, and then this little girl at X-Men, she came up, and I was like, And I said, oh, have you got something on your skin? I said, where's your mom? Tell your mom I can help you with that. She ran off and got a mom, and a mom came back. It was my number 5. So if you're thinking all the time of engaging with people, so what I'm saying is, like stores as well, sell the thing, get the name, follow up, get the friendship, ask, say I can get you 40 to 50% discount, ask for a party exposure or a one-to-one or whatever. You need to end the conversation asking for something you're looking for. So there must always be an end to that conversation. So when you pick up the phone, you know what you're going to ask for, okay? And you are really creating relationships along the way. So just to wrap up, there's all different ways. Cancer, Macmillan, go to vegan fates. Go to fates that are much more about, spiritual or something. People are generally interested in what we have as well. And that's it. So summer is great. People think everyone's on holiday, schools are out. That's even more likely you're going to bump into people you would never bump into because they're traveling, they're going on holiday. Annie and I are going to Egypt. We just end up that we're going to the same place, but different hotel. But I do know there's a lot of Germans at these hotels. So even though I'm not doing all, but I can't help myself sometimes because it's not even like I'm doing it, it's just how it is. But you know what? So if you have this at the forefront of your mind, I need to connect. So have that list, like I said. You need to do everything on that list, income producing activity. You do not go to sleep at night until you've spoken to whatever you've decided. You reach out 2 new people a day. Add those names to the list. That's your lifeblood of your business. You know what? You don't want the recycling list to the friends you keep asking again and again and again. No, you add new people, okay? Because that is what we have to do. We have to keep giving the gift, offering the gift, which is a beautiful way to put it. And then you get, and ask for referrals. Don't be afraid. Like Zoe did the training yesterday, who do you know who would love these products? And I'll give you a free gift. Be very generous, okay, at parties. Give, you don't give to get, but when you do give, you do get. So, people will receive, and high energy, high focus. So around that, that was really great training. So, so just make sure you keep the main thing, and don't allow yourself to go to bed until you've done whatever it is you need to do. Speak to so many people, book in this, whatever it is you have to do, send out text to, 30 people a day, and then you're done. And you do repeat, and there is no way you won't get to district. No way. It's like they do one-to-ones like Danny, more parties, mix and match, all of that. You will get there because guess what? You know what? You've made that decision. And you have to get there because the universe will always give you what you want. You need to be focused and really clear in your mind with your date. Like Danny said, get your date. Know how much you need to do, and you don't stop. I love to do it. I do like a list, and then I do a countdown. So it goes like 3,000, 3,801, and I have fun with that. So I'll sit there, like it's, let's say, I've got, I don't know, I've woken up in the morning and, okay, so let's go smaller numbers. So let's say I'm, 1,800 off my area bonus or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, so I know what I'm doing today. Do you know what? I sit there and I don't leave my chair till I've sold 1,800 QV. And you know how I do that? Because remember, I've got lots of people, but I start texting, I start talking, I start reaching out, and I don't get off my chair until that's done. And I literally do my countdown list. Now, and I have fun with this stuff, and I reward myself. Right, when I've done 500, I get a Mercedes moment, which is my box of Maltesers. It's actually a Malteser moment. I make it Mercedes moment, or whatever I do. Just have fun, okay? So that's what you got to do. If you want this, you've got this, okay? Get busy, okay? It's not hard. It's harder not to do, okay? Because then you overthink this stuff, okay? Forget it, all right? Just, you know what? That's all I'm going to say. Done.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining on this Zoom. So we have got our weekly boot camp starting on Sunday. So it's going to be every Sunday, 8 till 9. And it's a 9-week boot camp. And every week we've got a different session. So one's on how to do a one-to-one, one's on how to do product events. There's literally something for every single week. And there's going to be like a homework task for the week. So we will be checking on the WhatsApp group, have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? A bit like what we're going to be doing with the business plan. So you need to make sure you've done your business plan. Please do share it on the WhatsApp because otherwise I will keep banging on about your business plan. And do share your list of what you can do as well. Share your can do list, and then we can start helping each other, bouncing ideas around. And do share the things that you're doing that are working, and share the things that you do that don't work as well, because then we can all have a good laugh. Like those are funnier than the things that don't work. I am always sharing my mishap moments and the things that don't work, because it's a funny story. So you've got to have the funny stories to go with the success. So they are replacing the area trainings, Angie. Not quite sure for your team though. I don't. You'll have to check with Caroline and Carol what they're doing with yours. For mine, for Stacey's, for Fiona's, we're all doing the boot camps for the next 9 weeks, and for Jen Cower's area as well. But just double check with Carol and Caroline's. If not, they're recorded anyway. So that's it for tonight then. So thank you so much, everybody. I'll pop this link recording onto the WhatsApp once it's loaded. Share your business plan and share your I Can list. And I'll see you all on the WhatsApp. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.